Hello, welcome to the Entrepreneurs Network. I'm Rick Anthony. The Entrepreneurs Network is a showcase for innovators and entrepreneurs like my guest today, Jack Licata, former captain in the U.S. Air Force and founder and president of Fast Bags Corporation, maker of BagUps, a innovative product that we'll be talking about for the next several minutes. There are three distinguishing features about BagUps. First of all, it's made in the USA, and that's good for the economy. Second, it's made of biodegradable and recyclable materials, and that's good for the environment. And third, it's assembled and packaged by veterans and people with disabilities, and that's just plain great. Jack, welcome to the Entrepreneurs Network.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Rick.
And before we proceed, thank you for your service.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure.
Like most entrepreneurs I've ever met, and I've been at this now for over 25 years, so I've seen hundreds of entrepreneurs. Your experience, your venture is the result of your own personal experience. What's the story behind BagUps?
Yeah, I'm laughing because you talk about my personal experience, and here's how the whole thing started. So when I was in the Air Force, I was a nuclear missile launch officer, which meant, I was underground with the keys to the nuclear missiles, and for, 24, 36 hours, and then I'd come up, go home, go to school, and, did this 8 times a month. One day out of the month, I had to work in the office and answer the phone and do office duty. And at the end of that day, part of the duty was to change the trash. And, not that it was beneath me, but the actual job function just was so time consuming. The finding the bag, going down the hall, changing it, getting the next replacement bag. I really said, there has got to be a better way. In the Air Force, we're trying to do efficiency. And we got this thing we're doing all the time, thousands, millions of times a day around the world. And it's still the same way since plastic was invented. But I couldn't find a better way. So I went out to invent one. And I watched people, and I would buy a cup of coffee and sit at McDonald's and watch how the kids would do it. And invariably, I'll give you, it was 1 or 2, 3 different scenarios. They would go past the garbage can, notice it was full, take out the bag, okay, maybe tie it, leave it right there in the restaurant. Now it's leaking or whatever. Go to the storeroom, get another bag, line it, take it out. Or take it out, walk it to the dumpster. Someone comes by with a tray with the empty garbage can, dumps it in. Now they got to clean it out. Still, now go back to the storeroom. But no matter how you did it, the bags weren't where they belonged, which is in the can. Mm-hmm. Now, many people will put bags in a can. But when you get into a commercial scenario, you can't reach your hand all the way down. It's very deep. And then if a bag breaks, it gets all over those other bags. So our system is, and we have 5 patents on this, actually is a continuous stream of bags. So you take the BagUps container, you put it right into the bottom of your garbage can, commercial or residential. And when it's full, you just pull the bag out. The next one's already there. You perf it off, you line it, you're done. But where the real secret is when you get to the last bag that's in the box will come out with it. Mm-hmm. And then you just separate the last bag. And now, depending if it's commercial, you recycle the cardboard. If it's the residential, we have a refill. You refill it, drop it down, start all over again.
It sounds simple, but I've seen so many instances where simple took years sometimes to get to simple. How many prototypes did you have to go through to get to your final?
I'll start, I can't even give you the exact number. We started, you start drawing these things out, and then you start trying to put them on the inside, and you try and get different sizes and the functionality, and then the opening isn't right. It doesn't come out smooth enough. Something gets hung up. Okay. And then you try, let me see, how is this going to fit in this size? And will it open correctly? And then you start with little bomb flaps like this, and the bags get hung up. And then, you get into a different, we want to do a spindle, so we can now do a refill. And then, so it's not only the functionality, and then, we're going to do a 30-gallon bag. So now we got a different size. And then you get into packaging. Okay, are we going to go with this kind of packaging? Or we were going to do the retail where we're going to be on the store shelf. So we wanted something that just jumped off the shelf. And then, but they say that's the wrong color and this jumps off the shelf better. And then you realize, oh no, we're not going to go retail. So now let's do something that's more for, green. So you take that out, and then, you come up with finally something with a new logo that meets your website design. And then, now that I can make this fast because we got a piece of machinery, but now we got to get it to the customer. So it's got to fit in an envelope because UPS costs too much. And guess what? The post office, this is one price no matter anywhere in the country. So now you got to design it so that you can fit as much as you need to fit in here, get this whole thing so it can then, lie nice and flat. Someone can actually manufacture it, have the right price, okay?
Yes.
And get it to somebody's mailbox. So, I just set up about 10 years of kind of messing around with that.
Are all the patents you have on the packaging or on the material, the product itself?
No, the patents are on the whole functionality of how this works. So to have that, you could take this box, which has 13-gallon bags in it. This is the homeowner size, okay?
Right.
So that this is able to drop it down into the bottom of your can, and then you pull them out, and where the last bag is attached, but yet separates, okay? That's where in lies the patent. And we came up with 5 different ways to do this. Because we kept getting better and better on the manufacturing process. Mm-hmm. And we didn't want to get knocked off. So that was another reason. And that's where in the patent lies.
Are there similar products? I've never seen anything like this before, but are there existing products like this?
Nothing. There's nothing that exists on the market like this, not even close at all.
Well, a cynic might suggest that maybe there aren't any other products because there isn't a need.
Well, that was really good. You know what Henry Ford said about that? He said, if I would have asked my customers what they wanted, you know what they would have said? I want a faster horse. Before you had the remote control for your TV, it didn't exist. So would someone say, well, it doesn't exist because nobody wants it?
Yeah. So how did you market test to validate your concept?
Well, I gave it out to a lot of people. I gave it to a lot of restaurants, Burger Kings, McDonald's, and they all came back and said, hey, we want this thing. Mm-hmm. And that's really how we market tested it, by people coming back and saying, hey, this is great. Or can you change this? Or you could change it. Can you make the bag a little longer? Okay. 1 or 2 little tweaks like that. That's how and then, repeat customers are telling us that they want it.
In our house, we have probably 3 or 4 different size trash bags for different types of containers. You have one size?
Well, right now, our lead,
other sizes?
Our lead product is the 13-gallon kitchen, because that is the one that most people are going to use in the kitchen. Once we get that launched and get that down, we're going to go into the 30-gallon because that's the next residential size. On the commercial side, we can make any size that a business wants. So if you came to me and you said, Jack, I've got 500 stores, 500 restaurants or whatever, the VA hospital system, and we use a 44-gallon, this mill, this spec, great. We'll just go get that and put it in our patented design.
How did you arrive at pricing? It's not inexpensive. I don't remember the price, but my impression when I saw it was it's not cheap.
Well, okay. So now this pricing on bags are all over the place. Okay.
Oh.
You could take the market leaders, your Hefties and your Glads, and where they are on the store shelf and their price point versus ours, which they're not biodegradable and they're not in a system, you'll find us very competitive. The very bottom shelf, the ones right coming from China, okay, we're not, and it's just a bag, non-biodegradable, we're not going to be competitive. You take other people in the green space that are doing some sort of compostable or biodegradable, they're way more expensive than us. So we feel that we're priced in the marketplace. Yeah, we're not the bottom shelf Chinese product. We're not the top green, but we think we're priced for what we're giving you. We're priced very competitively. The system, the biodegradable bags, the replaceability, the functionality.
One of the smartest things I think you did as a early stage entrepreneur was to reach out to get help. And I think it was SCORE that you retained to help you with some, I don't know, just as a sounding board, or were they actively engaged in the development of the company?
Yeah, SCORE was great in the beginning, and I highly recommend it. A lot of them are, retired, and they've got a wealth of knowledge. Some of them are just very active consultants, and they just want to help and make a difference. So SCORE we did early on. As a matter of fact, one of our board members, the retired CEO from Sony, Iowa, we found through SCORE, and he's still on our board. But also, in addition to that, we've used Bunker Labs, which is for, it's got a military structure around it for veterans.
Yes.
To start in business, and they've been great. They even paid for us to be in a veteran in residence program where we won 12 weeks of office space with 10 other veterans. They were doing this around the country in sponsorship with WeWorks, and they gave us coaching and also the mentoring. And then there's also the collaboration with the other veteran businesses that were there. So we've had a lot of help along the way.
As I indicated before, I've known hundreds of entrepreneurs, and they all have a special story. You have a special story as well. I know this isn't just a business for you. There's another dimension to this. You want to fill us in on that?
Yes. Our mission really is not only to disrupt the current way bags are being made and used and help the environment, but also we're passionate about employing veterans and people with disabilities. And here's how that came about for me. So right after I had separated from the Air Force and I was working, I met a woman I fell in love with, and never thought I'd ever want to be married, but all of a sudden I wanted to be married and live the rest of my life with this. Her name was Janet. And she was a doctor. She taught medicine at Albert Einstein University here and worked as a doctor resident at Jacobi Hospital in the Bronx. And we were engaged, and right before our wedding, she had gotten into a car accident. And of course, this was before the days of airbags, which would probably be a minor accident now, but she's head injured. And I stayed with her for 10 years. I moved her from hospital to hospital. She was in a coma for a long time. And when she emerged, it was a really long road. And we moved her from hospital to hospital to hospital. And I spent thousands of hours in the hospitals and in the rehab centers with people who were head injured and other people with disabilities. And, that could be me, or that could be you, or someone on the battlefield in a heartbeat. Or you were born that way. Either way, it was from no fault of your own. And I said, if I can ever in my life make a difference for this population, if it ever is in my power, I'm going to do it. And when I was developing this product, I was doing the labor another way, and we were going to do contract labor. And I ran into a woman at a trade show who was, said, hey, we do this kind of work. Actually, I had another environmental business and I was looking for some packaging. for that product.
Mhm.
And I said, whoa, we can use this for BagUps. People saying, go to China, it's cheaper. I'm like, I know, I don't care about the cost. We're going to be competitive. We're smart enough to figure this out and make it competitive. And we're going to use this population. So, now the people who work there, now they're driven by what they can do, by their abilities, not by their disabilities. And the story about homeless veterans and the veteran crisis and the mental health issues. And when people have a job and they've got a mission and they've got a future and they got something to do for the day, it changes everything. And our real goal as we build out this company, if we could find more and more occupational centers across the country to do this work, we'd love to do that.
That's great.
Especially on the commercial side. Let's say we do a big deal in Kansas City, or rather than paying the freight from New Jersey, if we can find an occupational center in Kansas City, we build them in Kansas City and then ship from there. And if we could have a series of these across the country, that would just be heaven for me.
That's great. It's a great story. Great story. And again, congratulations on fulfilling that part of your mission. As you know, it's called social entrepreneurship, where you've got the double or triple bottom line.
Yes.
So yours is a winning story. I think I know you were on TVC. What was that like?
Well, that was a trip. As we're talking to entrepreneurs, I would go into that, eyes wide open.
Yeah.
It could be really helpful, but just, for your entrepreneur, keep in mind, when you're selling on QVC, you're selling on consignment.
Yes.
Okay. Everyone should know that.
That's the risk.
So you don't sell it, you're taking the product back. Now, we did $1,000 an hour, which in the world of QVC wasn't enough to come back.
Yes.
And we were on one time. I could tell you the pitfalls. If this is for entrepreneurs, if you can negotiate, here's some things to negotiate, okay? See if you can get on more than one time. Because if you're going to bring a new product on, okay, and you're just going to think that one time, those 6 or 7 minutes they give you is going to be enough. It might not be. Mm-hmm. So you want multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then
you can get back on the second, third, and fourth time.
Right. So like I said, if I misspoke, we did $1,000 a minute, okay, which isn't enough in their world. $1,000 a minute.
Yeah.
So, if you can, now they might be different now where they've got a little bit more of a cushion for new products.
I don't think so. No, they're tough. They're really tough.
You definitely want to see if you can negotiate multiple spots.
Have you thought about taking a shot at Shark Tank?
I have. There was an open casting call. We got to the second round where they asked us to make a video. We sent the video in, and then they're like, "Don't call us, we'll call you." We never heard back. But I would love, if there's anyone out, I would love to be on Shark Tank. I think this is a great Shark Tank talk. But Mark Cuban started as a kid selling garbage bags door to door. I'd love to talk to him. Mark, if you're watching, you're going to love this product.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Is that how he started?
That's one of the things he started. His father had a friend that had a warehouse of garbage bags. He said, "Kid, you want to make money? Go sell these." And that's his story.
Do you have other products in the queue, or is this it?
Well, we definitely have prototyped and want to build out other products that meet this biodegradable plastic space, okay? So things like doggy poop bags, kitty litter liners, drop cloths, tablecloths, cloths for covering dusty areas, even construction tape, those type things. And there's something else coming down the pike, okay, called a product called Made from Stone. This is very, very cutting edge. So there's a company that we're talking to where they're actually going to reduce the amount of plastic in plastic by 90%.
Wow.
So instead of just a polymer, a linear low density polyethylene polymer, they're going to take basically a natural organic material. Plus, we're going to add the biodegradability chemical to the rest of the plastic. That's only there. The 10% that's really plastic that's also going to have a biodegradable element. So that's just kind of like a little teaser trailer. The functionality of our product won't change. just what's in the plastic bags.
Yeah.
And that'll open up a host of other products that we could sell, like paper plates and cutlery and knives and forks, cups and things like that.
But do you have patent protection on the plastic, the material, as well as the system?
No, we don't. So what we do is we take a regular linear low density polyethylene, because people say, oh, are these strong as my other bags? Well, yeah, because they are the same bags. So a linear low density polyethylene plastic, if you're buying a 0.7 mil and you want ours is a 0.7 mil, it's the same thing. And we add an additive. Now, this is proprietary, not by me, but by the company. We had a proprietary additive that basically unwinds the molecular bond of the carbon and the hydrogen.
You're already above my pay grade.
Okay, well, picture what rust does to steel, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what rust does to steel?
Yes.
Well, that's exactly what happens with the plastic. It unwinds, okay? So I'll show you. You take the regular plastic bag, and then, this is just in the air. This is just by hanging around 16 months, okay? The first time I put my camping gear in the basement in one of these bags, and I picked it up, and the thing just shredded apart, It starts to shred, and it basically degrades. It gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until it turns really back to nutrients. Some people call it worm food. But this is what happens to our bags. By basically, depending on the environmental, but, around 2 to 3 years, the bag is degraded compared to regular plastic that's been here since it was invented.
Jack, you've been a business person for some time. This may be, I think this is your first venture of this kind. But what have you learned as an entrepreneur? Looking back, are there things you would have done differently? Are there some mistakes you made that you should have avoided?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, one of the biggest mistakes we made was trying to go retail from the beginning.
Yeah, that's tough.
Oh, and I'll tell you, Rick, we came this close to dodging a bullet. So someone brought us on Fox and Friends, and they did a spot on us. And not only did we get a lot of, thousands of orders, but we did get that call you always wanted. And it was from a buyer, and I'm not going to say the name, but from a large chain of grocery stores around here. Yeah. And they wanted it in 300 stores, and they wanted it to do end caps. And, when you look at the slotting fees and the returns, and I was going to go for it. Come on, this is our shot. And then right before, they gave us the purchase order, they went bankrupt. Now, where would I be now if I actually executed all that?
Yes.
And that's when it hit me. That's when we pivoted. That's why we've been doing this for a while, but we just recently pivoted to, no, we're going to do 100% e-commerce. And then you had you look at the success of these residual companies like the Dollar Shave Club and Harry's and Chewy. And people want these products, right, coming to their house, and it's residual. Everyone uses garbage bags. There's only so many people that shave. And you look at the valuations and how what happened with Harry's and Dollar Shave Club. So we feel that this is 100% how we're going to go.
So do you have a continuity program, automatic refills?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Right now, you can buy the BagUps box, and we can sell automatic refills right to your home on a schedule that you choose, and they come right to the mailbox. So you don't have to worry about package pirates like Amazon, or you're in an apartment building where you can't take those big boxes and stuff like that.
Right.
So we do have the residual of product, and we do have the subscription model that you can sign up for right now.
Right. You have to be the lead sales guy, right?
Yes, I am. And it's a passion. I don't even consider it sales. I consider it, just explaining the product and, giving you the offering. Because if you try this, you will. I don't know anyone who goes back. I don't know anyone who said, I don't want that TV remote anymore. I don't want a cell phone. I want to be able to, use my own phone. There's like no one that wants to go back.
Right. How, now that you've launched and you're on your way, is part of your mission to be helpful to other veterans? who aspire to own their own businesses?
Absolutely. I firmly believe the more you give in this world, the more you get back. It's a passion for me. That's what our whole company is about. It really is about making a difference, one bag at a time, from the environment to the people who do the packaging and assembly, to anybody I can help, veteran or non-veteran. That's kind of like my karma in life. Is if I can make a difference, that's what I'm here to do.
What's your goal? Do you want to build this company and flip it? Do you want to build this company as a base for other enterprises?
We definitely want to build it because we have some investors and we're looking for more, so we need an exit strategy. We definitely want to build it and then do something like the Dollar Shave Club, have an acquisition, but we stay on board to keep it driving and going and making sure that, we stay true to our principles and values. But yeah, we have an exit strategy.
And what is it? You want to be acquired? Is that what you said?
Well, we'd be acquired. Yeah, probably to be acquired or license the technology. We could even license out our IP. So license the IP or straight acquisition or some sort of merger.
Okay. I asked you about vets, but if there is a single lesson that you learned, if you were approached by some young person or an older person who said, I've got an idea, and I think it's going to be a multi-million-dollar idea, what is the one bit of advice you'd give to them?
Run it out. Run it out. Try every single angle that you can to fulfill on your dream. The other advice is it's probably going to take 3 times longer and 3 times more money than you think.
You
3
got
to
it.
5 times.
Yep.
But I would tell them, don't give up on your dream. Really, get a sounding board, get a good team around you. No one can do everything on their own. That's what I would tell them.
I think the other one is, for a true entrepreneur, there is no such thing as failure. It's a learning experience.
That's right. We call it failing forward.
Yes.
When you fail, you've moved forward. Consider it you failing forward.
And I assume you've got a lot of bruises from failing forward. Well, thank you very much. It's a great story, and it's a great product. I have to try it myself, since I'm the guy who takes the trash out.
That's the number one thing. It's the people that really feel the pain. The people that really feel the pain are the ones that,
Yeah.
Do you want me to give the website now where they can find it?
How do people get more information?
www.bagups.com. BAGUPS.com.
Okay. Thanks very much. Thanks for the story. Again, thanks for your service.
Thank you.
My guest today has been Jack Licata, who is founder and president of Fast Bags Corp., maker of BagUps, convenient item, who is trying to change the world for a better place, make it a better place, one bag at a time. Until next time, I'm Rick Anthony. This is the Entrepreneurs Network. Take very good care of yourselves.
Thank you.